Do you feel like your financial life is just a revolving door for money where you earn a paycheck and just immediately send it out to, your different expenses and debt payments? I've been there. I know what it's like. And in this video, I'm going to cover 7 of the main reasons why, or 7 of the most likely reasons why you can't save money. Let's get to it. All right, reason number 1, and that is you lack personal finance knowledge. I think it's really funny that we all go out and get an education and learn skills and, all these different things that we do to make money. But then for most of us, we never really pursue how to handle that money once we earn it. But the truth is you can earn as much money as you want, but if you don't know how to handle it, you're going to be in a tough situation because handling money is more important than earning money, because you can earn a lot less money. And if you know how to handle it, you'll find some savings in your budget. And so if you want to start saving money, one of the most important things you can do is start reading books about personal finance, start following blogs about personal finance, listen to podcasts, follow YouTube channels, whatever it is. Just dedicate yourself to learning about personal finance, because the better you learn how to manage money, the better you will manage money. Because if you don't know that something you're doing is a problem, then there's no reason for you to fix it. So learn about personal finance, and I promise you it will help you on your journey to save more money. All right, reason number 2, and that's you're unprepared for emergencies. I can't tell you how many people struggle in their financial life all because they keep getting hit with emergency after emergency after emergency. Now, let me just clarify something. If you have $25,000 in a bank account just sitting there for unexpected expenses that might occur, like medical bills or your car breaking down or home repairs, something like that, if you have a big pile of cash sitting there, surprise expenses don't feel like emergencies. They just feel kind of inconvenient. So let me just, I just wanted to clarify that an emergency fund is really relative. The biggest problem why people struggle to save money when it comes to emergencies is they start to save money, but then they get hit with an emergency expense that they weren't planning on. And then it requires them to dip into their savings. And before you know it, you've had emergency fund after emergency fund. You have 3 or 4 months of that in a row because you weren't prepared for that. You're just in that revolving situation where money's coming in and you're just immediately sending it back out. But if you have a big pile of cash and you prioritize an emergency fund, you'll be in a lot better situation and it'll be a lot easier to save money. All right, number 3, you don't live on a written budget. I can't tell you how many people I see that are struggling with their finances, but they don't know how much exactly is coming in and how much exactly is going out, and they don't have a plan for their money. If you want to succeed in your financial life, you need to have a plan for every dollar of your income, period. And that's why we always recommend living on a zero-based budget. A zero-based budget is a budget where you start with your income and then you subtract how much you plan to give, how much you plan to save, and then from there you organize or you plan the remaining amount of your income in a way that allows you to live off of the money after giving and saving. This is the best way to find savings pull savings out of your income, because it's so specific that it's really hard to go wrong. And the thing I always say, I've said it before and I'll say it again, is specificity leads to success in personal finance. So get on a zero-based budget, plan every dollar of your income, and log your expenses daily, and just be super dedicated to a written budget. And I promise it'll help you save more money. All right, number 4, and this is a biggie, okay? Consumer debt. Consumer debt is a huge problem. If you're struggling to save money and you have debt, that's the cause. Any money that you're paying towards debt is money that you can't be saving. So if you're paying a car payment, let's say your car payment is $400. That's $400 that can't go towards your savings every single month. If you're paying credit card bills, if you're paying for anything else that's consumer debt related, even lumping in something like student loans into this, all the money that you're spending on consumer debt is money that you can't save every single month. And the sooner you get out of that debt, the sooner you'll be able to save more money. So we recommend following the debt snowball method, which is where you list out your debts from smallest balance to largest, disregarding the interest rate, and start paying them off one by one. And as you retire one debt, you roll that payment into the next payment. And so it sort of starts to act like a snowball. This is a great method. This is the method my wife and I used to get out of debt. And it was super effective because it focuses on the human behavior side of things, where if you're focusing on interest rates, it gets you thinking about the math and it kind of complicates things. Whereas if you're just like, hey, I'm going to list them out from smallest to largest, boom, I tackled that debt, boom, I tackled that debt. You get some quick wins, start to feel a little victorious and like you've got some momentum going, and before you know it, you've paid off all your debt. So I know that I just sort of rambled there a little bit, but if you can get out of consumer debt, it will drastically increase your ability to save. All right, number 5, and this one might be a little painful and people don't tend to like to hear this, but maybe you're house poor. That can be a big reason why you aren't saving money or you can't seem to save money, it's because you're spending too much money on a house payment. And that might be a mortgage or rent. Either way, if you're spending too much money on a mortgage or rent to the point where you don't have any money to save every single month, then you need to consider finding a cheaper place to live. I know that might not be fun to hear, but the question really comes down to, do you want to live where you're living, or do you want to have the security and the wealth building potential that comes with more financial margin in your life? So consider that. That's a major reason why many people just can't seem to save money, as they're spending too much on their living situation. All right, number 6, you justify wants as needs. And I know I am really good at this. I think we're all good at this to a certain degree. We're all really good at selling ourselves on things that we don't actually need, something that's a want, and we're able to kind of twist it and sell ourselves on the fact that it might be a need. So for example, I can justify buying a power tool all day long because I love woodworking and I've sold a ton of furniture in the past. And so my justification is always, oh, well, I need this tool in order to build this specific thing, which I can sell for this amount of money, which will pay for the tool. And it's just this terrible downward financial spiral that I've had to learn is actually a major problem in my life. Justifying wants as needs is a huge problem if you can't save money. So this takes a lot of kind of self-knowledge, being self-aware. It's not fun to look at yourself in the mirror and go, hey, am I justifying wants as needs just so, that I can satisfy my urge to spend money? It's not fun. I had to do it. I didn't enjoy it, but if you can do it and start to realign what's actually a want and what's actually a need, you'll just have a much easier time saving money throughout the month. All right, number 7, you spend before you save. Now, this is how most people handle their money. They get a paycheck, they start spending money on their house, whether it's rent or a mortgage, they pay their car payments, they pay for groceries, they pay for dining out, they pay for fun, they pay for all the things that they need to pay for throughout the month. And then at the end of the month, if there's any money left over, they'll save. And then if there's any money after that, they'll give some money. And this is not how wealthy people handle their money. And if you want to save money, what you need to do is flip that entirely. So start by giving, then move to saving, and then use your budget to live off of the money that's left over. If you can live by the give, save, live methodology, it prioritizes saving ahead of spending. So at the beginning of the month, you've already put money into savings. Now you just have to figure out a way to live off of the rest. It subjects your spending to your savings, and it doesn't put you in a situation where at the end of the month, you maybe don't have any left over. What you're more likely to have is a situation where it's like, oh, you know what, I put $1,000 into savings and I'm really edging up close to my budget, to the edge of my budget. And maybe the last couple of days, even if you have to pull, let's say $100 out of that $1,000 from your savings, at least you still saved $900 because you put $1,000 in at the beginning of the month. So saving before you spend is one of the most critical things you can do. And also, by the way, it sets you up to be really good at building wealth in the future, because if you learn to save before you spend, then when it comes time to invest after you have a nice emergency fund and stuff like that, then you'll be in the habit of putting money towards savings before you spend. And so you can take that money and instead of putting it in a savings account, you can put it into some kind of brokerage account or towards your investments or more towards retirement or whatever it is. So learning to save before you spend is one of the most important things you can do if you can't seem to save money. That might be the main reason. All right, so there you have it, 7 reasons. They might not all apply to you. It might just be 1 or 2. I know for me, all 7 of those applied to me when I was in my early to mid 20s. And by changing all 7 of those things, it drastically and dramatically improved my ability to save. So if you like this video and you like financial inspiration, be sure to hit that like button and maybe watch a couple of these other videos. All right, bye.